Well, once again, I'm in the Val in Gauteng, and I'll be talking to a young lady, 24 years old. Her name is Keneilwe Raphesu, and her father, Dr. Raphesu. Now, they've got an operation where they're farming mealies soya for nutrition for their livestock. They've got cattle and pigs. I'm going to find out how that all works and how they put it all together here on African Farming. Join me. Hello, Keneilwe.
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm great, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for letting us onto your farm.
Welcome to Magalum. This is my land.
It's your land, eh?
Yes.
All right, we're going to talk about your land. But first off, can we just have a quick cup of coffee?
Okay, let's
nice
go.
chat. Fantastic. So, Keneilwe,
Yes.
I noticed that we're very close to Amos Njoro's farm. Do you guys work together? Do you know him well?
Yeah, I know him well as his son. We've worked together. Yeah. He's just next door, not far.
He's not far. He's
No.
literally next door.
Yes.
Okay, he's actually a great guy as well.
Indeed.
We had a chat with him. Okay, let's talk about yourself. How did you end up on this farm?
It started way back. I've been farming back at home in a combination with my grandparents, and then I came here. But Dad got this farm, I think, in 2007, and I've been shadowing him all along, and that's when he handed over the baton as time goes by.
You're talking about your family and your father. He played a big role in terms of, I suppose, your whole life, but from a farming perspective, eh? Talk to me about your dad.
My bestie, that one.
Yeah.
Everything that I know regarding farming, I learned from him. From management to taking care of livestock, everything, literally from driving tractors, everything I learned from him. So clearly he's done a great job.
Clearly he's done a great job. But your father has got a doctorate in theology. I mean, he's involved in so many things. How does it all come together for him?
You know, for him to be on the educated part plays he puts a pressure on me because I've got big shoes to fill in, you know. And for someone who works for his community, he's everywhere. You know, if he could divide himself into pieces, he would do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're speaking about education, which is obviously looking at your father, Dr. Raphesu. He's done so many things. Let's talk about your education and the pressure that he put on you. What have you studied?
I've done BCom Economics and International Trade, currently with BA Psychology and Labor Relations. I've done an NQF in Animal Production.
Yeah.
So the first degree is it's working on this farm in terms of business management, in terms of accounting, in terms of doing market analysis, and I do business plans and everything on the farm. So the first degree is working very well. It also puts a lot of pressure on me. He's not happy with your average 60%, 70%. He wants above that. Yeah.
Oh, so that type of pressure and the fact that he's on your case about so many things, is that the same thing on the farm when you're working on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. You know, when I'm in the crowd, he monitors everything, looks at me like, what are you doing? And what is this? You know, so you're always willing to improve. He's showing that from this, for when you're doing a mistake, this is the way forward to go. Don't do this, handle it in a different way. So I'm willing to learn from him, and I've opened my mind to new ventures. But at the very same time, you used to do this when you were farming. Now I'm in the new era. Allow me to handle things differently. Yes.
I mean, you sometimes you do clash.
All the time.
All the time. For instance, talk about the breed of cattle that you want. I mean, you were telling me a story a little bit earlier on about that you've actually decided to go two ways.
Yes.
Because you couldn't agree.
Yes. You know, when I first started on the farm, we had more than 4 breeds, and it was a bit of a struggle in terms of measuring the growth, measuring body weights and so forth, because you couldn't see which one is which, you know. And it's one bull, but all the heifers are different breeds. So I was not happy with that. And I got attracted to the Bonsmara breed, and I want to continue that route. He's still in love with the Simmentala breed. He loves it. So I'm like, it's fine. You can continue with your Simmentala and let me continue with my Bonsmara.
If there is a clash, I don't feel it so far. We only have slight differences about the breed, the kind of breed that is needed. I remember last year we got a Santa Catrudis bull, She said, take out this bull. It's ugly, doesn't fit the stock. So we have to take it finally. We have a generation to look after that may take the business further. But you see, the problem is you have to have the background of farming. You find that this man who's today a serious commercial farmer, his father or grandfather has been in the game for quite a long time. People don't see that. They think they can just come today and go home with a pocket full of money. But it's something that needs patience. And we have started the patient. Our children will move and our grandchildren will move. And as they grow into farming, they know more of the tricks than we knew because they grew with it. And they will just become commercial farmers right away.
At the age of 24, most 24-year-old young ladies when Gauteng are working in the city and so forth, and you're on a farm getting dirty. Don't you miss that other side of life that maybe your peers are involved in?
Before that, I always dreamed of being a corporate lady. You know, heels and suits every day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, look at me where I am right now. It's a different scenario, you know. And I'm glad that I took this route. I'm in love. I'm passionate about it. So I don't miss it at all. No, I can be a city girl when I want to, but most of my life and my passion is on the farm.
But the farm is hard work, isn't it? It's at 24, have you learned the patience of farming?
Yes, because we've lost a lot, and along the way, I've learned a lot. The mistakes that have been done, and if you're not willing to learn from your mistakes and try different things, so I've learned that with farming, it's a school of patience, and if you're not patient, the reward won't be worth it. So you need to be patient.
Keneilwe, do you have mentors?
Yes, I do. My mentor is my father and Patrick Kwatla from Sernick. Patrick is playing an important role in terms of the Bons Mara breed because in Sernick, that's what they deal with mostly. When I need help, even if he's in Free State, he's just a phone call away. Yeah.
And he'll make his way and come and help you.
Yes, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from subsistence farming in Limpopo and moving on to Gauteng to a commercial operation, Keneilwe is ready to show me all around her farm. Am I correct?
Yes, definitely.
All right, let's go do so.
Let's go.
So, welcome back, Mzansi. Earlier on, we spoke to Keneilwe. She spoke about their livestock on the farm, which is cattle and pigs, and we know they need a lot of nutrition. So, in order to get that nutrition, they're also farming mealies and soya. I want to speak to her now and find out how all of this comes together. Well, Keneilwe, early on we had a small look at the livestock. Right now we're walking through what is part of your acreage in terms of your hectares, in terms of your mealies. Take us through what we're seeing.
This is the maize field whereby it's yellow maize that I use as nutrition for my feed, both for the pigs and the cows.
Okay. What is that process?
After harvesting, that's when we take the maize, we make it to be very thin, and we mix it with the Smith's finger grass that we also plant ourselves, and some salt and molasses here and there, and then it's feed. It's a supplement, yeah.
It's supplement?
Yeah, especially during winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how critical is that? Because obviously, when it comes to livestock and talking about your cattle, even your pigs, I mean, it's just that nutrition is important in terms of the kilograms.
Yes. You know, maize contributes a lot in terms of the nutrition to the immune system. We get zinc, we get iron, we get phosphorus, we get phosphate, and on top of that, it's high. It's relatively high in energy. You know, so we're chasing great quality. You know, it's very essential that your animals are on the best quality when they go to the market, the carcass, in terms of the body structure and everything. And it even contributes to the coat of the skin. Yeah. You know, so yeah, it's quite essential, the nutrition that we get from it, and it's cost effective for me. I don't have to go to the market and buy feed, which is very expensive. So planting my own is very good. Okay. What are you expecting in terms of your hectareage per hectare, your yield? The rain might have have made me lack a little bit this year because some parts we didn't plant. So if I can get between 5 and 6 tons.
Yeah.
It'd be
Did
great.
the rain affect your soya as well?
Yes. I mean, you can with the maize, you can see it's already yellow. It did affect us. With the soya, I wouldn't say it affected that much because we managed to plant it later in January, and it was not that bad.
I want to talk about assistance in terms of government agencies and so forth. Are you getting the assistance you require?
You know, with the government, I think they're lacking. You know, they know very well that the planting season starts from October, but they're giving us fertilizers and seeds in January.
Yeah.
How do I plant? You know, so everything is from our own pocket.
So tell me about your access to markets.
My markets are, I think, on a higher level. I supply feedlots like Sernick. I supply also abattoirs and auctions, rather than individuals. Yeah.
In this type of operation, you need to be hands-on. Is that correct? And how's that working for you?
I'm managing quite well between school and the farm.
Yeah.
I'm hands-on in terms of everything, whether it's planting season, harvesting season, whether it's cattle management, everything that has to do with the farm, I'm practically hands-on.
Are you find yourself using maybe some of the stuff you're learning on a theoretical basis and then putting it in practice on your farm?
Yes, with my first degree, everything I think it's working for me on the farm, especially with economics and business management and accounting. I practice it on the farm. With the current one, the labor relations one, it's also working well in terms of disputes with the farm workers, formulating of contracts and also formulating of business plans and so forth.
Yeah.
It helps a lot on the farm.
Okay,
Yes.
100%. We serve a lot of pork in our restaurant.
Yes.
You have a lot of pigs. You have a piggery.
Yes.
Okay, what's your favorite pork dish?
Pork belly.
Okay, I was hoping you're going to say pork trotters because we make the best trotters in the world.
I also make the best.
Okay, I'm going to taste your trotters before I leave. But listen, women in farming, how do you feel about women in farming? Are there enough women?
I'm glad that you asked me this question because we need more women in farming. Farming has got a very big stereotype around it that it's for people who are old, it's for men. Women are not muscular enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can run a whole household alone without no male within the picture, why can't I run a farm on my own? We are always hands-on, we're always willing to initiate, we've got ideas. Women can work around it, and I'm glad that it's young people mostly that are attracted within the farming sector. And I think, I hope they are willing to learn, get the information that they need, because it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road.
It's not easy. You have to be very patient
Exactly.
as well. Keneilwe, with your hands-on approach on your farm, you believe in the 3 Ps. What are those 3 Ps?
Persistent, patience, and passion.
Okay. So if I had one wish I could grant you, one wish in the world for anything, farming or anything else, what would that wish be?
My biggest wish is to have a larger and proper infrastructure on the farm, because I would love to expand and invite students for in-service training and learnerships on the farm. I need infrastructure for that. Piggery, I want to expand. I need infrastructure. Livestock, in terms of cattle, I need to expand infrastructure. So everything, in order for it to expand, I depend on infrastructure. So that's my biggest wish.
After spending the day with Keneilwe and her father, Dr. Raphesu, I can see they both have a love of learning and a love of farming, and they share that knowledge of animal production and nutrition so freely with me. It's been a good day.
Zanzi, welcome back to African Farming. Now, farmers are tasked with producing food that is nutritious, and of course, in order to do that, they have to put in all of the goodness during the growing process. For livestock farmers, that means providing excellent animal feed. Now, amid tough economic conditions and increasing feed prices, that's not always easy. We spent some time with farmer Keneilwe Raphesu to see how she approaches nutrition in her operation, and now it's time to find out from the experts here in studio. Joining us in studio, Dieter Fleischmann from Africa Animal Feeds. Dieter, are you well?
I'm well, and you? Thanks, Tony.
Very good, thank you. Also in studio, Ratsilane Marumo from AfriVet. Ratsilane, good to see you.
Thank you so much, Tony.
All right. Craig, good to see you again, my friend.
Great to be back.
Are
Thank you, Tony. Very well.
From Flay Central, of course. So, Dieter, can I start with you? Talk to us about the importance of a balanced diet and the raw materials actually used in the feed.
Tony, yes, if we look at animal nutrition, at first glance, it's actually a simple concept. But we need to understand that there's numerous building blocks that is involved in making up a balanced diet. And these contain proteins, energy, vitamins and minerals. And we need to get them from our good quality raw materials such as soyas and maize as well. For us, it's very important to understand that during an animal's life, there's different requirements. And for us to feed profitable and be able to meet these requirements effectively, we need to focus on each of those stages. And if I need to look at a stage which is very important, is actually the early stages of animals' life. So if we stunt their growth in the early stages, then we actually hamper their ability to produce according to their genetic ability.
So heading into winter, do farmers start preparing a little differently?
Yeah, we need to make, like the saying says, make hay when the sun shines. So in times of plenty, we need to plan according to and plan ahead to ensure that we have a sufficient feed bank in the winter. And especially now with the Ukraine and Russia conflict, feedstuffs like urea is especially increased in price a lot. And as we know, winter leeks contain a lot of urea. So definitely in the coming winter, it will be tough to contain and maintain the condition of the animals on the winter veld if we are not able to ensure that there's enough pasture as well. Because one of the main culprits in cattle farming is overstocking.
Ratsilane, we've just heard everything from Dieter here. What part do supplements play in terms of nutrition?
Thank you again, Tony. The supplement, perhaps let me say this. Traditionally, the grazing used to contain, the plants used to contain everything that we need. But due to changes that took place, and this, of course, to the environment, to the soil, and the global warming, they affected the growth of the plant in such a way that we started having these shortages. And unfortunately, all these shortages, they are very important to the health and the growth of the animal. Now, we find ourselves having to come up with different ways on how to bring these shortages that are no longer found in plants or leaves per se. Now, we need all these shortages for optimal growth, sound health, so that the animal will be able to produce. They have good skin, they've got tender meat, they produce good eggs. So the issue of supplementation is inevitable. We need it so that we are able to produce grade A meat. We need supplementation so that we assist this animal to produce or to breed optimally.
What's your advice to a farmer in terms of the supplements they can use? I mean, what do you look out for?
Okay, there are different ways. We can harvest the plants while they are still growing, like Dieter has mentioned, or we can purchase the concentrates as we normally find them in our co-ops, or we can go the other route, which is the injectable vitamin and minerals, or the oral ones that are found on the market.
So Craig, if I may come to you, if I'm the farmer and I want to bring my animals, my livestock to the auction, what are the key things I should prepare for?
Well, Tony, there's two different aspects. Normally in our weekly sales, our slaughter sales, there's not much preparation that goes into that. The weekly sales, the guys rock up to the sale and we do the sale. Your bigger sales, your breeding sales, stud sales, there's more prep that goes into that. You know, the guys have to condition the animals, so they use licks, phosphate licks, supplements to condition the animals for the sale. You want to get the best price that you can obtain on the sale by conditioning your animals.
Yeah. Dieter was talking a little bit earlier on about the environment that we're in and how it can affect, the actual farmer on the ground in terms of feedstock and so forth. How's it affecting your auctions?
Well, at this stage, there are some factors that's playing roles. The smaller guys are feeling the pinch with feeds and supplements that's going up at this stage. The bigger farmers they are surviving, they're pushing through at this stage. So yeah, the smaller guys are feeling the pinch at this stage.
Well, so Craig, what I'm hearing from you is that there's room for all the farmers to bring in their livestock, because obviously not all farmers have the same capacity. Is that correct?
It's true, Tony. There's a lot of farmers that they do not have enough grazing on the veld, as what Dieter mentioned previously. The biggest problem is there's overstocking on the farm. So some of the guys do not have funds to supply their animals with the efficient supplements, phosphate licks, winter licks. So at the auction, there is a wide range of animals that can be selected, animals that can be bought to fatten up for slaughter at a later stage. There are other animals that are in top condition for breeding purposes. So there is a wide range at the sales yard.
Okay, fantastic. Let me get a quick last comment, guys. Dieter, I want to go back to the conditions that we're in terms of animal feed. Any last word, a piece of advice to farmers out there?
Tony, I think it's very important that we have clear production objectives and that we actually measure the return on our nutritional investment that we make. And as far as possible, try to farm with good quality animals as they are just much more able to convert better.
Ratsilane, your last word?
Okay, from my side, Tony, the best thing that we would advise a farmer, it would be ideal that they stick to the traditional grazing. But again, we would advise all the farmers to supplement during those periods where we experience these shortages, so that they see the return on the investment.
And Craig, last word from you.
Well, all that I can say is that I know it's a difficult time for the farmers at this stage. There's a lot of challenges now. Stock theft, feeding programs, drought. We're hoping for good rain, but to all the farmers out there, push forward. We need you guys.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your great insights. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Tony.
Fantastic. So Mzansi, next week we'll bring you another incredible African farmer. So be sure to tune in. And in the meantime, catch us on our social media pages, #AfricanFarming, or on our website, africanfarming.com. And remember, we farm better together.